What's happening, folks? Well, it's been basically a week since the release of Captain America Brave New World, and they've said that they've already made like the budget back, but as we know, Marvel and Disney are very good at creative accounting, should we say. With all the other things on top and things we'll find out later, I really don't think this movie, if it turns a profit, it's not going to turn much of a profit. I said on my trailer review, this film's got a lot going against it, and with Fantastic Four coming out later this year, we've also got Thunderbolts coming, and don't forget, we've got the new Superman from DC. So this film needs to get people into the cinema. It doesn't have to be the best, it doesn't have to make $1 billion, but what it needs is people to go and watch it and come out and say, I enjoyed that, I had a good time, that was worth going to see. I think Anthony Mackie, I think Sam Wilson really did a good job of taking over as Captain America. And I said a lot of people are going to be turned off already by that, because two reasons mainly. One is because we have had years now of bad films, and bad writing, bad films, bad villains, contrivances, and also it's the fact that a lot of the long-term fans, the people who brought the comics and that, wanted Bucky to take over as Captain America. Or I only watched a couple of episodes of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but that other guy that the introduces the new Captain America, not sure what happened to him, but from what I've heard, I think he was given some sort of serum, or at least he was enhanced, and he was a serviceman, and he was patriotic. I can't tell you much more than that, but he obviously didn't become the new Captain America. President Ross wants to get the Avengers back together, and he knows some of them have been killed. Thor's off-world. And now with this celestial, they finally acknowledged as a celestial. How they know it's celestial, I don't particularly know. But the other thing was, I also said about the trailers, how they kept filling it full of Red Hulk, as if that's a draw. Maybe to a normie who doesn't really know a lot. But as quite often happens, you get people who leak the plot, or you'll get like a critic or a journalist will come out and go on about how the Red Hulk's in it and this and that, and he's in all the TV spots and trailers, but then they tell us that he's hardly in the movie, and then they say, oh, and he's and he only really appears at the end. And so between Captain America not being in a Captain America film, and we also know that the Red Hulk isn't in it very well, hardly in it at all, and it's only towards the end. Other than that, they don't really give us any. The trailer doesn't really tell us anything. And then my channel's called Bobulation Nation. I originally wanted to name it Discombobulated Nation or something like that. But it was either too long or the names I chose were already taken. But this film is discombobulated. You can tell from the many reshoots how it's sort of disjointed. There were people that you could tell would or at least should have had more screen time and presence, and he scaled that right back. And just in general, Sam Wilson as Captain America is a discombobulated character. He's got Ant-Man's helmet. He's got Steve Rogers' Captain America shield. He's got his Falcon suit that's since been upgraded. And he's got the Wakandan vibranium stuff in it as well. And I think it was the first Avengers movie, Steve Rogers says to Tony Stark, "You're a man in an iron suit. Take that away. What are you?" And Tony says, "Billionaire, genius, playboy, philanthropist," or something like that. But in this case, you take all that away from Sam Wilson, and he's not had any enhancements or whatever. He's just, I wouldn't say a regular guy, because obviously he's physically fit and he's had some training. But going up against large terrorist groups or other super villains, if you like, or even up against other super soldiers without that equipment, he isn't really nobody. And in fact, when you see him doing some of the stuff he does in it, like, not even these fighter pilots can go about specialised suits and all the rest of it. And the speed he travels, and hitting the ground, no, his body wouldn't withstand it. And it comes across as a bit silly. Then, sorry for spoilers, but it's the Celestials, like in the Indian Ocean, and there's certain countries that want to get their hands on the adamantium, which apparently is stronger than vibranium. And for some reason, they choose Japan as the enemy, which I think is a bit of a joke. And Japan wouldn't threaten us with war. In fact, they would want to join us, and obviously countries are vying to get their hands on it and stuff. No, it wouldn't be that. I mean, they already know, and have known for a while actually now, especially since like the blip and that Wakanda, and before then even that they got the vibranium, and it just, like I say, it's discombobulated, like in many ways. Ross, you can tell they were, I mean, at the time when it was the first edition of the film, it seems like President Ross, they perhaps thought Camilla would win the presidency, and Ross is kind of modelled a bit on Trump. And when he loses his marbles at the end and becomes the Red Hulk and smashes stuff up and that. Yeah, there's just too many, like I say, it's disjointed, it's all over the place, it's contrived, and it's boring. And I think Sam Wilson, Anthony Mackie, actually does a good job. And there's a few things that could have made the film interesting, but unfortunately Marvel yet again have proven that, I mean, they said they want to change and they know they've got a problem, but I mean, this film's been in production hell for quite a while, many reshoots, a lot of time and money have been, well, in my opinion, wasted on it. And if anything, I'm also now even less wanting to see the Fantastic Four. I thought Pedro Pascal was a bad choice straight away. The Thing, he looks small and a bit silly. Sue Storm, I don't really know the actress, but she could do a good job. But really, she's a little bit too old for the role. If you think this is going to be the future of the MCU and they're going to be involved in the next 10 years, what's she going to be like in 10 years? What's Pedro going to be like in 10 years? He's already, a lot of people have just simply had enough of seeing him and everything. And yeah, I loved him in Game of Thrones as Martin Oberyn Martell, and even in The Last of Us. But getting back to Brave New World, Brave New Turd, it was brave of them to make this and put it out there. And they had multiple test screenings and stuff, and it's obviously it has an echo chamber. This Hollywood bubbled at their end, and Marvel are just. And I'm just gonna play this little clip.
You're not Steve Rogers.
You're right. I'm not.
No, he's not Steve Rogers. He's not Captain America. And as you can see here, and he's got his little things like off the Transformers as well. Laser beak, as you call sound waves thing that comes off laser beak. Like I say, discombobulated. Who is he? By the end of the movie, you still don't really know what motivates him. Steve Rogers gave him the shield, and that actually wrote them into a corner. They should have removed that scene from it. I mean, the idea thing would have been to give it back to Tony Stark to take back to Avengers HQ, but obviously they killed him off as well, so that ain't gonna happen. And it's caused them trouble down the road, and will continue causing them trouble down the road. And we've got Thunderbolts where Bucky's gonna be, looks like, putting them together. So, like, people who really want to see that redemption arc and him take up the mantle, or at least, you know, because he was with Steve from the very beginning, and he's a patriot. It's just a shame that, you know, Steve thought he'd been killed, but Bucky had been, you know, mind raped, brainwashed, and turned into what he was. But he's since had the treatment and sorted his head out. He's now got not just a metal arm, but a vibranium arm. And it could have been about him becoming Captain America, or, like I say, focusing more on Sam's character, but they didn't do none of that. Listen, don't go and watch it. Save your money. Watch it at home on streaming or demand or whatever. And I've rattled on long enough. Population Nation here. Thanks for listening. Please like, share, subscribe, ring that bell, ding dong, and as always, have a good day.